The Tupelo native has been lights out. 7 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts. He's only given up 1 hit, no walks, and of course the most important part, no run. We're going to be well fed as the Bulldogs get ready to play LSU. And Peanut, you played football for state. What does it mean when LSU comes into town? I think we have the maroon white chant going on. Mississippi State ready to play Memphis right now. Both teams have high hopes for this season. Calhoun City 2 years ago were in the state championship, but last year they just won 2 games. So they're looking to bounce back, and it starts tonight. I'm going to ask your wife a question first. How different is he on Mississippi State game days than on New Albany game days?
Actually, he's probably a lot more nervous.
Really?
When Hayes plays, yes.
Coach, why the nerves?
I don't know. I'm not.
Now it is game time. Ole Miss and Oklahoma. Ole Miss is the away team, so Oklahoma a little bit of an advantage. They haven't lost in Omaha so far, but ain't no time like the present. How about a little feel-good story on a Friday? A little positive momentum going into the weekend. Tomorrow is Autism Awareness Day, but tonight in Jumpertown, they celebrated it a day early and brought a smile to a student who loves the game of baseball. I told Ron Price that I wanted to be juiced before the game of the week, and East Webster did not disappoint, and they also won the Instagram vote.
How about that?
How about that?
We love
Funny
that.
how things work sometimes,
it is,
right?
You know, how the cookie crumbles.
How the cookie crumbles. Last Sunday without the NFL. The fall is almost in full swing, even though it doesn't really feel like it outside. For right now, it is time for the Fever 5, the top 5 plays from Friday night. And let's start this with a bang. And I mean that literally, number 5. But why the turnaround? Why now? Why this season? 2 reasons. A mantra and a little help from Mom. Craig, when a mayor of a town reaches out to you on Twitter, hyping up a game and says, I want to do a massive event for Friday Night Fever Countdown, what am I to say? No, I say the hype train is already rolling, and this week it is rolling through Eupora. The Eagles are on a hot streak after losing 2 of their first 3. They've won 4 in a row, including a massive district battle against Calhoun City last week. Doesn't get any easier as the Choctaw County Chargers come to town, and it seems like head coach Jeff Roberts has the squad moving in the right direction. I am pumped for this one. There are some serious athletes taking the field, including 5-star sophomore receiver Caleb Cunningham, who received an offer from Georgia yesterday. Antonio Kennedy is also a beast for the Chargers, 6'1", 200 pounds as a running back. On Eupora's side, Ty Murphy, the quarterback, he's a freak athlete. He can throw, he can burn you with his feet, just an all-around great athlete, and as you can tell, I'm already ready for it to be Friday. Of course, that isn't the only massive game in the area. Sammy Roebuck will be in Tupelo for the undefeated Golden Wave showdown with Madison Central. The Jags lost a tough one against Clinton last week. They'll be ready to go. Meanwhile, in big Louisville, the Wildcats host their biggest district challenge in undefeated West Lauderdale. They'll get the Ethan Foster treatment on Friday. Meanwhile, in college football, what a time to be alive in Mississippi. Ole Miss ranked at 9 and Mississippi State at 16. Last week, Mike Leach got his first win as Bulldogs head coach against Arkansas, and Lane Kiffin will try to do the same this week against Auburn. The 11 a.m. game on Saturday is already sold out as of today. The past 2 years in this matchup, the Rebel defense had no answer for the much-maligned Bo Nix. But the good news for Lane and the Rebs, Nix plays for Oregon now and won't be trotting through the tunnel at Vaught Hemingway. They will have to deal with talented running backs Tank Bigsby, best name in college football, by the way, and Neshoba Central product Jarquez Hunter. After giving up a season-high 28 points to Vanderbilt last week, run stuffer and Oxford native J.J. Pegues and the defense are looking to make a statement against the visiting Tigers. And oh yeah, did I mention that J.J. transferred from Auburn back to his hometown Ole Miss?
Like, I still love them, like I said, they're my friends, but at the end of the day, we playing them, so they my enemy until the end of the game. And obviously, you got Tank Bisbee and Jabari and Hunter, but I feel like if we just bring our A game like we did versus Kentucky, we'll be good.
Meanwhile, in Stark Vegas, the Bulldogs are rolling. 3 straight games with over 40 points. Will Rogers has thrown for at least 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in every game except LSU. which we won't talk about that game. Sorry, State fans. But the last two games, the thing that made me do a double take, the running game. At one point late in the first half against Arkansas, State had as many rushes as passes. That's unheard of with Mike Leach. Dylan Johnson was the first back to run for 100 yards under Leach, and at the end of the game, State nearly had 200 yards rushing total, which was the most under Leach. That offensive line is cooking right now. Second straight SEC game with 0 sacks given up. State's defense didn't have to deal with KJ Jefferson on Saturday, and they will get a hobbled Will Levis at Kentucky this week. Levis missed last week's game with a foot injury, and Kentucky dropped their second straight. Levis is considered day-to-day, but he did practice today, according to team reports. Regardless of Levis, you better believe the Wildcats will want to end the losing streak before their game against Tennessee next week. That's all for sports. We'll be right back. Over the weekend, I watched the tennis movie Borg versus McEnroe. Bear with me. It's the story of the 1980 Wimbledon mega match between Swedish superstar Bjorn Borg and upstart brash American John McEnroe. It was all about Borg going for a then unprecedented 5 straight Wimbledon titles. He beat McEnroe to win his 5th that year, a record which stood until Roger Federer matched it in 2007. So why the tennis history lesson there, Matt? Who cares? Well, there's a local tennis player who accomplished a feat this season that frankly is unbelievable, that can stand right there with Borg and Federer. Last Friday, Caledonia's Sunny Logan finished her high school career with her 4th consecutive state title and her 80th straight win. 80 wins, 0 losses. And her story goes far beyond the court. Sunny Logan was getting some shots in today at the Magnolia Tennis Club in Columbus, Caledonia's home court, with her mom looking on. Fitting, because it was her mom who got her into tennis in the first place.
It was just love at first sight. I loved it and never looked back.
Love that turned into a passion, that turned into holy smoke, she never loses. When her mom put the racket and a tennis ball in her hand all those years ago, she didn't imagine 4 state championships and 0 high school losses, but here we are.
It was an incredible feeling. Her dad and I are very proud of her because she's worked extremely hard to reach that point.
I just felt so thankful and blessed and just overjoyed, and it was just an awesome day.
Logan's remarkable record, the 80 wins, the 4 state championships are great. They're unbelievable. But the trials she faced before her run even began, that's what gave her the drive. Because before she battled the best the state of Mississippi had to offer, when she was 8 years old, she battled Burkitt lymphoma at St. Jude, and she beat it. How did those rough years turn you into the tennis player that you are today?
It just really showed me that, like, no matter how hard you can get down or how low you can get, that you can always come up if you put your mind to it, and you just can't let something get you down.
Being at probably the lowest part of your life and not knowing if you'll see the next day pushes her to this day to pursue and to give 100% in everything that she does.
And that 110% includes off the court as well. Logan will attend William Carey University in the fall. She'll play on the tennis team, but she chose William Carey because of their nursing program. Her love of tennis helped in the fight for her life, but it was the nurses of St. Jude that kept her positive and smiling on a day-to-day basis, and she wants to be that difference for a child in need one day.
I had a fantastic nurse practitioner there, and she would always encourage me, and she was always there for me to cheer me up, and I just want to be that person to somebody one day.
What a journey, what a person. She said she wants to win a national title while at William Carey, and honestly, who could doubt her? Yeah, Alyssa, for the last 6 years, one thing has been a constant at Mississippi State. Wide receiver Austin Williams. The Ocean Springs native opted to come back for his 6th year in maroon and white, continuing a legacy that is a sparkling example for young athletes both on and off the field. I got to sit down with Williams this week in Starkville for a little one-on-one. What's it like thinking about that this is year 6 for you?
It's been awesome. I've been so lucky to have spent so many years here at State. It's treated me awesome. Now, I wouldn't come back if it would have just been a great experience, you know? I mean, if I could get 7, I would.
Williams redshirted his freshman year all the way back in 2017, and then has grinded his way to being a key part of the Mike Leach offense, posting career highs across the board in 2021. Did you envision this journey for yourself when you stepped foot on campus as a freshman?
Honestly, no. I didn't know how I was going to roll out. I mean, I was trying to figure out life and, get to meetings on time, honestly, my freshman year. And for to see, like, look back and kind of see, what's all transpired. I mean, I just feel blessed and lucky to have had such a great journey.
A big part of that journey for Williams was off the field. Every year, he's been on the SEC honor roll, maintaining a perfect 4.0 GPA. His hard work in the classroom earned him an academic All-American selection, and in 2021, he received the H. Boyd McWhorter Scholar Athlete of the Year Award, the highest academic honor in the SEC.
Why was that so important to you to execute on that side of being a scholar athlete?
I'd say I was lucky enough to have really good parents growing up. They wanted me to be like the best I could be in a bunch of different phases of my life, not just athletics. They really harped on academics and just try to push me like in the right, healthy manner. It was just really good, and just coming here, I try to be the best version of myself wherever I can be, and inside the classroom, outside the classroom, on the field, off the field.
Not only that, he was a semifinalist for the Warfel Trophy and the Jason Witten Man of the Year Award for his community service work.
Why is it important to you to do that community service aspect of being, an athlete at Mississippi State?
And I just like I said, we're lucky to be here to play this sport and do what we do, play a game, So might as well pour out into the kids, community around us, wherever I can. So when there's opportunities, to mentor, read, or whatever, help out with something, whatever it may be. We're blessed enough as it is. Why not pour out into the community that's given us so much?
What is your favorite Mississippi State story from your time here?
It's kind of tough for specific ones, but just the camaraderie and just the teammates I've been lucky enough to share time with, and just hanging out with them, whatever it may be. We're in the training room, locker room, just talking the talk. I've been around some awesome guys who've went out, in the NFL, doing this, doing that, coaches, who went to all types of different, careers, and just be able to share that time with them, that bonding's been awesome.
Austin was an awesome guy to talk to. He already has his undergraduate in finance and an MBA, and now he's going for a third degree, and I'm sure he'll be up for academic All-American again. And he said that he still has his eyes on the NFL to continue his football career, but of course, first things first. A successful 6th year with the Bulldogs, which is right around the corner. When someone is the first to do something in sports, it's a big deal and certainly deserves recognition. In Aberdeen today, powerlifter Tanaya Morris got ready to drive down to Jackson to compete in the powerlifting state championships, the first girl in school history to do so. And the Bulldog community sent her off in style. The school held a full-on carcade for Tanaya and her powerlifting teammates. They went from the high school through downtown Aberdeen, past the elementary schools, in a big loop of cheers and sirens. A pretty big deal for the senior who, after the parade, said it made her want to cry. It's been an emotional journey for Tanaya. She couldn't participate in powerlifting last year because she chose to go full virtual due to coronavirus concerns. This year was her last shot, and she made it.
I was really screaming inside. I was really excited, and I'm glad I made my coach excited and proud. And it's really exciting. I made my family proud.
Speaking of proud, her coach, Elizabeth Oliver, started the girls' powerlifting team 4 years ago. Tanaya was one of her first athletes.
I'm not sure I'm going to sleep at all tonight. Just super proud that she is doing something that no girl at Aberdeen High School has ever done before.
Tanaya may be the first, but she doesn't want to be the last. And she hopes she can leave a lasting legacy for future girl powerlifters in Aberdeen.
A lot of females feel like, well, this a man's sport, or they, don't, think they can do it. But I feel like if you put your mind to anything, you can do whatever you want to do.